here at Backstage, pass out laughing. Yes, sir, here at Backstage, staying on topic with conversation, make you think, hey, please don't be scared, making a fuss, they jokes, partner, please lighten up, cause comedy's about making life funny, bruh. And if you're ready for the show now, follow me backstage, cause it's about to go down.
Welcome backstage, yours truly, the voice. Your man, Mr. Savoir Faire, the DL Marshall, man. I am happy to be with y'all on this evening. Yeah, we rolling a little solo dolo on tonight. I don't have Bam Brown with us. He's out on the road, but I do have a special guest off in the building today. So welcome behind the curtain. We've got it locked. And before I tell you, I'm going to show you who we got. You done seen him. You done laughed at him. He done probably made you get up and go run to the restroom because you done spit your water or your drink all over yourself. Let's just do it like this. I'm going to let y'all see exactly who's I talking about. We'll be back after you see this.
Def Comedy Jam. It's the one and only Russell Simmons Def Comedy Jam.
If you won't be EG, coming at you 6 and
Y'all show some love for the next comedian coming up. Very funny. All over Indiana, Indianapolis. Give it to my man, Sweaty Hands. Give it to him.
Laugh is good.
All the time.
Laugh is good.
All the time.
And all the time.
Laughter's good.
Coming to the stage, I want y'all to give a big Atlanta welcome coming to you. All the way from Indianapolis, Indiana. Y'all give it up. Show your love for Robert Day. Come on, let him hear.
Hello? Robert? Yes, Miss Parker. You see in church this service? No, Miss Parker. She said, the devil show isn't it? She said, wait, nobody. Clap these orders on spiritual beings on this plane. Hey, that's right. We wake up every morning and we pray to God that the car's still out there. Then that's it. We pray to God that the car started. Now, church, see which one I like and which one was the shortest. She said, what was wrong with my church? I said, I don't know, your pastor invented the cast and slide. See what you mean? I said, he was up in the pulpit shot calling like a big game of Simon Says. He like, everybody stand up. Everybody turn to your neighbor. Now everybody say, I'm blessed. Now everybody come down to the altar. Now everybody clap. One hop this time. Every knee. Everybody clap your hands. About to go down. That's it, hallelujah. Thank you, Lord. She get that 2-hand cross hand swing. Hallelujah. She ain't done yet. She looking out the corner of the school and said, man, I'm about to act of old. Hallelujah. Thank you, Lord. She jumping up. Y'all think she jumps, she never does. Hallelujah. Her wig falling off. Hallelujah. Come on now, come on, baby. Get it up. Get it up, man. The devil show his business. It's my birthday!
Yes, sir. You saw it for yourself. You saw how funny it was. Now you see why I said it. He had y'all spitting up water and going ahead and filling up them depends. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome backstage our special guest for tonight, none other than Mr. Robert Sweaty Hands Day. What's up, my man?
What's happening, bro? How you doing?
You got it. Man, thank you so much for being gracious with your time on the night, man, and welcome backstage to the hottest music talk and topics this side of heaven. We're the most infamous gospel music show that is running. That means we talk about everything. We talk about it. We don't shy from it. And if you make it public, we make it popular. That's how we look at it. So
what I'm talking about. There you go. Tell it like it is.
So, man, how is it going out there in Indy?
Man, it's going good. I'm busy as ever, tired. But yeah, it's work and it's a love passion. So you know how it is.
Yeah. So I see that you've been making some rounds with a couple of notable names. How is your tour going, and how is it working with a couple of guys that you're working with? And I'll let you name them if you want to.
It's been great with everybody that I have worked with, thus far, in my career. I mean, I've been doing this 30 years. Had a couple of run-in with some guys that, wasn't the greatest, but other than that, most people in comedy are good people, man. And so, it's been a great run. I've been with all the big names. You've seen a couple of them. You've seen Bruce, Ricky Smiley from Comic View. I worked with the Kings of Comedy. So I done work with everybody in the business.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. Now I'm gonna get a chance to get you to kind of tap in. You ain't got to name no names, but I'm gonna let you tap in on a couple of them situations that you said wasn't too favorable. But man, I want to make sure you know how comedians do when we get together. So just treat this backstage as one big green room, bro. So, so I'm looking at it, man. Sweaty, you done been on Def Jam. You done been on Comic View. You done worked alongside of our Kansas City legend, Mr. Eddie Griffith, Lou Nail, Cedric the Entertainer, another Missouri funny comedian. Man, when I started here in comedy, I started back in the 90s, Stanford Comedy House, which is a place that Eddie Griffith, they put him out of there, man. They said he was too raunchy. And I always loved Eddie's style. I came along within there. Eddie saw something within me. And he was like, man, I got to get out that club and I got to get out of Kansas City. And Eddie was running his own comedy night. And I don't even know if Eddie remembered this because, like I said, this is back like maybe 92, maybe.
Yeah.
I'm dating myself right now. But yeah, man.
Yeah, me too. You round in my era.
So, yeah, man, there was no time like doing comedy in the 90s, man. It was free.
Nothing.
You could say what you wanted to say. You could say it how you felt like saying it, man. It was like we was rock stars.
We got paid good for it. We got paid good for it. I was telling some of these new I like I was getting $700 as an opening act.
Yeah, bruh.
You can barely get the headline today, man.
Now, one of my regrets is that I had started having children before I got a chance to do the Comedy Store. But some of the stories of Fat Tuesday that I heard, it got in me so deep that I started doing comedy nights here to try to emulate those fantastic, legendary Fat Tuesday rooms with Guy Torrey, another a Missouri comedy guru, man. But tell us a little bit about how Sweaty Hands got going, how you got the name Sweaty Hands, and just bring us up to speed with your comedy journey.
First of all, let's get the name out the way. The Sweaty Hands is self-explanatory.
Yeah.
Because when I got in this, I guess it's some type of nervous condition, overactive sweat glands. So I've had it my whole life before comedy, but when I got into comedy, people, hey, you funny, man. You know how they shake your hand. It's like, man, what's wrong with you? So I kind of put it out there as a warning. And I did it. And Michael Collier, I was doing a show with Michael Collier. He said, they don't like that in Hollywood. Them name Kool-Aid and hamburger and all that stuff. They want you to just use your name. I said, well, I ain't no food or no drink, man. My hands sweat. So I do the show. He said, man, you funny. He shook my hand. He said, forget everything I just told you. Call yourself Sweaty Hands. I feel bad. So my hands sweat, basically.
Got you. Hey, that's all right as long as I don't catch you coming out the restroom and shake hands with you. Then it'd be like, oh, bro.
But people always come out. Did you wash your hands? Like, would you really know?
Right. Is it water?
I had free hand sanitizer. I should have been charging people. Time I shake your hand, I'm wiping the germs off of you. Right. They're not gonna stick to my hands. They're gonna drip or they're gonna get wiped off.
That's it. Let it keep rolling. So, what year did you start your comedy?
Like around 92, somewhere in the early 90s. And
yeah.
I never intended on doing comedy. I was at an open mic with a friend who loved comedy. And I went there and the people was whack. And I started heckling. And I was enjoying the heckling, so I started going back. So what I didn't know is the next week I went back, I said, because I was enjoying it. My friend had signed me up on the list, and I didn't know. They said, next brother coming to the stage, like, he better be funny. I'm going to tear him up. They said, Robert Day. And I'm like, what? She said, I'll put you on the list. I said, I ain't scared. I went up there. I killed it. Loved it. Been
addicted ever since.
Ever since.
Man. So we both came up through in the 90s, man, and we're still rolling. We done rolled through the 90s, the 2000s, 2010. Now we embark upon the 2020s, man. And we understand that the time of the stage that we're gracing now is so hypersensitive. Have you changed any way that you have approached going about your routine, or are you just like, let the chips come as they may?
I tell the truth how I feel like it. I feel like telling it. I do, miss some words that are offensive to people now.
Yeah.
That weren't offensive then. So I omit those words, but it's still the same. I tell how I feel.
That's it.
But, put it out, because that's good comedy when you don't censor it. And everybody, like if you say, we joke about Jesus. Come on now. We can't joke about nothing else, genders, this and that. I'm like, no, we can't do that.
Everybody should be able to get it, and everybody should be able to understand that it's the attributes, not the inner person. And man,
every joke ain't for you. There's some other people out there. It's like when people go to church on Sunday, and like, I don't know what pastor was preaching about this week. Because it wasn't for you.
That's
it
right.
Was for who? It was for these people. Every week it ain't for you.
Man,
everything
and
you talk about you.
You know what, Sweaty? It's like, even if somebody cracked a joke about black men, like you said, if I don't fit that criteria, I don't care. I'm gonna laugh even if I do. It's like you go buy tickets to hear people give their humorous point of view. We are commentators. We are laugh therapists, man. If we can't laugh at ourselves, that's why so much killing is going on as well.
Exactly. So if people are sitting there and they talking about deadbeat dads, the only people that are offended are deadbeat dads. Right. What they're saying, a hit dog will holler or something.
That's right. That's right.
I'm cracking up at the joke. I'm like, yeah, because some of y'all need to step up. Y'all are some deadbeat dads.
Right.
I'm laughing with them.
Definitely, man. So we are backstage in conversation with none other than hilarious comedian Robert Sweaty Hands Day. And if you just now getting in here, man, hurry up, sit down, stop being so late. Because one of the worst things to do is step in a room once a comedian is already on stage. So
yeah, how you want to mess around and take away these people late? They've been late their whole life. You want them to be on time. Late what they do, that's their thing.
Hey, CP time can either stand for colored people time or Christian people time. I'll let you pick which one you want to insert in there.
Man. You done hit one with that one.
Right.
You done covered everybody
That's
with
it.
That one.
So, man, coming out of Indianapolis, Indiana, how hard was it for you, if at all, was it to break on the main stream that you did?
As far as getting on television was easy. As far as getting into comedy clubs was not, because you was on Def Jam Comic View, you was a hoodlum thug, and they pretty much didn't want you in the club. Me, and like most people, when I've never been intimidated by nobody I'm on the stage with, even with the big names. So when I went to Def Jam and BET, I came back and gave everybody the information, because they was like, "How'd you get on there?" And I was like, well, nobody helped me get on there. So what I did, I was watching the credits at the end of the night, after the show was over, paused it on VCR, wrote down the information, called information, and, did the footwork. And they say, hey, send it to the talent coordinator for the show, mailed in the tape, and they invited me. I cut that out for everybody. I came back like, here's the number. Call this dude and send him your tape. Call this chick, send her your tape. And if they like you, they put you on. It was that simple for me.
It was that simple. Now, who was hosting when you got on there? Was it Steel Martin or was it Joe Torre?
When I got on Def Jam?
Yeah.
When I got on Def Jam, Ricky Harris and Dale Gibbons and Joe Torre, they were hosting. when I got on Def Jam, it was really too soon for me. I had just started doing comedy. That open mic I told you.
Yeah.
It was like 2 or 3 weeks later. I got Def Jam. And
so
you
was fresh fish.
I was unprepared. And I'm up there with Cedric, Eddie, all these people who've been doing it for years. And they were the people that asked, like, man, so how long you been doing comedy? I'm like, about 3-4 months. They were like, what? I've been trying to get on here for 5 years. You must be hilarious. And I bombed because I only told jokes in Indianapolis. So when I got to New York, I was still telling them like I'm in Indianapolis. I'm talking about, stuff at Kroger. We ain't got Kroger in New York. I was talking about the high school. We ain't got the high school, so there wasn't nobody getting none of the jokes.
Right.
So Cedric was laughing, and Cedric told me, like, don't quit. You too funny, too fast. He said you didn't learn the game.
Yep.
So
and that's a good nugget.
Tell the same joke, but enter their high school, their grocery store, and name it that. Haven't had a bomb since. Been killing it.
There you go. Jokes are universal once you learn that. And that was a good nugget from Cedric, man. You funny too fast, meaning learn the craft, because there are also research and study techniques that you got to put in with it. Now, did your episode air? Did your set air?
It did not air. So I took what he said, and I said, before I gave up, I said, well, I'm going to try. I'm going to go to Comic View. I sent my tape to Comic View, and they was too quick. They was like, can you be here in 3 weeks? They said, we shooting in 3 weeks. So now I got to hustle and get some money to go to California, because they didn't pay for enough like Russell did. Russell paid for everything. So I had to get the money, go out to California, apply what Cedric said, killed it. It was on for the next 4 seasons.
Now, with the Def Jam, you remember that I Ain't Scared of You by Bernie Mac, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The guy that was there, that was 2 or 3 people before Bernie that was bombing and everybody was on him.
Mm-hmm.
I came on right before that dude.
Whoa, you was there that night? Oh, my goodness.
And I've been in love with Bernie Mac's style since. Tall, dark-skinned cat, charismatic, just say what he on his mind, unfiltered, that persona. But Bernie was he was caring, he was loving, but he was direct with you. And don't play with him. Don't play with him, man. Sweaty Hands is our guest conversationalist. Backstage, yours truly, the voice, Mr. Sad Warfare, the DL Marshall. Robert Sweaty Hands Day is our guest on today. Robert, what is it? If you could pick 2 things that you really miss from doing comedy in the 90s, what would those things be?
Definitely the money. And back then we was doing road trips. We wasn't flying. I miss, I love when Cat Williams did the special of him, Lunel, and Red.
Yeah, and they was driving
in the car. And I tell them the story to the Duke. I was like, that's how we did it. We didn't have hotel. We stayed at other comics'
houses on their couches. Man,
we stayed on their couches. We rode in hoopties, and the road trips are the best story, because you done been back in the green room. The backstage stories that we tell are hilarious, man. Like you said, the Bernie Mac Hamburger told me that story because he was there that night, and Hamburger told me exactly how that went down.
Hey, bro. When I tell you, like I said, mine got cut because I didn't have the greatest of set, but he gave me confidence. When that came after me, I was like, woo. Now, either I set him up to be booed, or either he was just that bad. But I guess they were like, we done had enough of this.
So the fact that you got the experience, like I said, my tape didn't air. I wonder how many of us didn't air.
Man, I bet you a bunch of us is on that cutting room floor.
Yeah. Now, I also know, man, it's some people that did good that didn't air.
Right. Well, they made the right choice by cutting me. I'm like you. I wasn't ready. I had a Magic Johnson HIV bit. I had a Bugle Boy Jeans homosexual bit. So so I think it was more so folk like, but I think I came thinking that Kansas City or Missouri would transfer or translate because so many from my area had gotten up there. But like you said, after you study, you've been in those cars, you've been on them green rooms, you've been on the road trips, and I really, that's why I really named this show Backstage
You really
Pass.
learn to read your audience. I was out in LA for the first time, and I was out there, and a guy was out there, and he was doing Michael Jackson jokes, and he was eating it. I said, "What? They love Michael Jackson. You can't talk about Michael Jackson." And he was just trying. And I'm like, he was probably new too, didn't know this, man, switch it up, run.
He said, y'all gonna take this. Y'all gonna take this joke.
I said Michael Jackson, and I said this and that, and they were sitting there like this. And you know, that's the worst thing for a comedian is being silent.
Man. I'd rather you boo me. Give me something to pivot on.
At least you know you're making some noise. If you get booed, but somebody giving you, they're like, we ain't gonna give you sound. And you just standing up here and just, I'm like, come on, no.
Hey,
if you was at Apollo, you at least would have got the Sandman would have tapped out there and danced you. Come on now.
Hey, when you get them crickets, man, you having a conversation in your head like, okay, do I keep telling jokes or do I leave? And then them legs get stiff, like I want to walk away, but I can't.
Yeah, and you like, I don't know what to do. And that's why I'm glad I got the experience of that. When people see me now, like, oh my gosh, like, wasn't I always like this? I mean, I was always funny, but like you said, the packaging of putting it together. Yeah. And I thank Cedric so much. He gave me so much information and insight on how to do comedy, and it was just great after that. And Eddie Griffin was always one of my favorites to this day, period. Because
oh man.
Eddie can tell a story, especially Bible stuff. Eddie, ain't nobody like Eddie on that. And to be factual.
When I tell you, a lot of people go to the low-hanging fruit, the obvious, Richard Pryor, Eddie Murphy. Bro, when I tell you, Eddie Griffith, Bernie Mac, and then I pick back up with the Richard Pryors, the Eddie Murphys, Damon Wayans, man, folks such as that.
I tell people, when you are a true fan of comedy, I'm not just a comedian. I'm a fan. I love for other people to make me laugh too. But for me, when people, I tell them, they like, who inspired? Like, of course, Eddie, Richard, all this. But that wasn't who made me do comedy. What made me want to do comedy was Robin Harris.
Oh my God.
Robin Harris. I saw Robin Harris. I said, I want to do what he do.
Beast.
Robin Harris made me want to do comedy.
Man, Robin Harris could look you. And you know, he had that look about him that he was looking you up and down the whole time reading you. Oh man, it would take off on you, man. And you would really want to just leave. Like if you had a date there, he's like, you would want to beep her and be like, come on, I'm out in the car.
I think what I liked about Robin Harris was that his stuff was so funny, but yet so simple. When he was doing stuff, he's like, I'm going out to the airport. And he said, why are you back? He said, I seen the sign that said airport left. So I turned around and went back home. I said, and I'm driving to the airport one day and I see the airport left. I'm like,
yeah, right there. Voila. Ladies and gentlemen, we have the hilarious Robert Sweaty Hands Day as our guest conversationalist. What we're going to do, Robert, we're going to get a chance to take a music break for those that's listening to us on iHeartRadio, also on Spotify. If you are listening to the most infamous radio show going, then thank you, Houston. Thank you. All of you that are in Atlanta, Indianapolis, Ohio, everywhere you're listening, thank you, Kansas City. We appreciate it. And for all you upstart comedians that's checking us out, this book right here, man, this book is you got to read On the Real Side, a history of African-American comedy from slavery. It used to say to Richard Pryor. That's why Richard is on the book, but the updated version says from slavery to Chris Rock. And we'll get your take on that Chris Rock situation, too, when we come back. We'll be back. I am Mr. Savoir Faire after this. All right, welcome back, man. You see what it is. It is DL's Backstage Pass. And right now, we have our special guest, for a few more minutes, Mr. Robert Sweaty Hands Day. Sweaty, man, when did you feel like, okay, I'm in the pocket and comedy has blown up? Like, you know how sometimes you like, okay, that was a good set, but I got to make sure I kind of remember what I did. Then you start stringing them together. But when did you know Sweaty Hands had blew?
I don't know when I knew, but when you know it's kind of when I tell people it was like the Matrix. When people kept telling Neil that he was the one, and everybody kept saying it, and Neil didn't feel it, and he kept dodging them bullets, and then one day he stopped them and they dropped. When you have that moment, I'm on stage and I'm killing it, and I know I'm no longer dodging the bullets. I'm now stopping the bullets, and I'm going like, I got this. And from now on, it's going to be like this. And I believe what happened is when I went to Comic View, really where I grew up, I went to Comic View, and before we signed our contract, we was in there, and the guy was telling us, like, y'all know why y'all here? This is the best advice I ever got and I ever gave to the committee. He said, do y'all know why y'all here? And one of the committee said, we're here to make people laugh. He said, no, you're not. If you're going to do that, you're going to fail. He said, what you're here for is to have fun. If you have fun, your personality will come out. And if you got a fun personality, the crowd will have fun with you, and then everybody's having fun, and then you will kill it. But if you come out here and try to make them laugh, then they don't laugh. Now you want to tell a joke real quick to hurry up and get that laugh, and you're throwing your timing off, and then you're going to bomb, and then it's horrible for everybody. So just go out there and have fun. And like I took a weight off and set it to the side. I said, I'm going out there and having fun. I went out there and had the time of my life, and I've just been having fun on stage ever since. So the key to all you new comedians, don't go out there, dollars, cents, money, topics. Just go out there and have fun.
Yep.
Just have fun.
And be you. Don't try to be nobody else. Find what it is in your personality that made people start saying, dude, you funny, you different, and sell it. Put it on stage.
I like it because, doing these interviews, I have hosts be like, well, who'd you ever try to emulate? I'm like, I ain't never tried to emulate nobody.
Right.
Trying to be the best me. I didn't try to be like Bernie Mac or Eddie Griffin or no. I like the people, but I didn't try to emulate them or be them. I was just trying to be the best me I could be.
And people already know them. I'm trying to get DL Marshall out there. It's bad enough I got the name
I'm trying
DL.
to get Sweaty Hands out here. That's what y'all need to know. Sweaty.
Man, I got a chance, man, to have 2 books of DL Hughley signed. And the first book he signed for me, I said, I got up on stage and I was like, bruh, I guess we got a lot intertwined. I said, I'm a DL that's do stand-up comedy and do radio. You are. He said, believe it or not, that's more common than not. And I was like, whoa. And when but how I took that was, I ain't got the market of DL cornered, comedy cornered, or radio. Go be you. Like when you get on this stage, you got the same task that I have. And if you try to be anything like me other than your initials, you will fail. And that made me think about it when you said that guy told you, just go have fun. Go be you. Go be you.
Advice. It freed me because I was thinking just like he was saying, I'm going to tell this joke. I'm going to tell that joke. And I had my whole setup. And he said, have fun. I went out there unscripted. Like, you know what? How y'all doing? What's up? And got comfortable. And next thing I know, the green light was on. I'm like, dang, I stayed up here the whole time. And if some people don't make it, they like,
I rode the horse.
When the red light come on, it's time for you to get on the stage. And some people get on there like, hey, how y'all doing? And dang, that's the light. They like, get out of here.
Right.
And I'm sitting up there and I'm like, the light's still going. It's going. I'm like, wow, I just survived 15 minutes.
Yeah, man. Yes, sir. It's like something you just said. It's like a playbook, man. Like people ask me, so how do you know what you're gonna say before you? I don't. But
you don't.
When you study your playbook and when you're doing the writing, not when you're doing the marking or the stealing, which we'll talk about that too. But when you're not trying to remember what somebody else said, it's in you, so it's gonna come out. And so what I try to do is remember my playbook. And if I take off in a direction and they feeling it, then I take jokes and branch it off of that subject that they feeling. And for you know it, you done hit that pocket, like you said, 15 minutes.
I don't know what I'm going to say until I touch the mic. Once I get the mic, it's like God send the words through the microphone, through my arm, to my voice. Because people like, I ain't never heard you. I said, all that was made up on stage. I ain't never said none of that stuff before. That's why people like, you got to start recording, because next time, I don't know what I said last time. You in the moment.
There you go. And that's when you know you in the game and it slows down for you. Because it's been a couple of times I'm like, oh man, did anybody record that? Like, even if it's voice recorded, so I can go back and study me. And I'm like, oh, I can really change and put that. So, man, when you say you a student of the game, I get it, man. Because I go back and I reformulate and I touch up and I'll be like, man, if I catch the defense slanted to that side, I'm going, man, I can talk comedy all day long, bro.
I got several people that I knew personally when they were not as rich in household names they are now, like Mike Epps, you know, he's from here. Miss Pat.
Oh, man.
I mean, I know these people personally, and I'm happy that the people like, oh, well, what about this? It's like, hey, everybody got their own destiny, their own path. It happened. It don't. But I'm still happy for them. Dang, it should have been me or none of that. I'm happy.
Right. Because we don't know what that level of success at that rate and at that moment of our lives would have done to us. You know what I mean?
I already know. I know. I told God, don't even give it to me that soon. Because I know I'm going to blow it. I know.
I'd have been like Magic Johnson for real. I'd have been like, who did it?
I guarantee you, I probably wouldn't be here today.
Right.
Like, you wouldn't do. Who you want to go back to? All y'all, come on.
Yeah, right. Smorgasbord. Thank God for redemption.
I've been on that greedy mode. So now, being a grandfather is
a
lot more better for me.
Thank you. Yeah, Pop's lane is a lot better than before Daddy lane. That's definitely
like I said, there you go.
Thank God for repentance and redemption, man.
Woo! Thank you.
When you were talking about that Matrix, ain't no telling how many bullets I done died.
Boy, we done died some. We done died some.
So, Michael Epps, you brought up Mike, and Mike was in Kansas City one time, and I was at this radio station that no longer exists, so I can go ahead and say the name, KGGN 890 AM. And Mike was with a brother by the name of Kevin Taylor. And Kevin, what he does is he gets a lot of comedians' numbers, and he had once a month prayer. And then once he hits you, you're supposed to pass it on. And I've adopted that and just started praying with brothers as well in the comedy field. But he brought Mike Epps up. He said, man, it's a brother I want you to talk to. So I was like, hey, man, we got a little bit of time. Let's jump on air. And Mike said, brother, I got to talking to you, man. I'll never do another interview with you. Man, you got that Holy Ghost. You had me telling on myself. He said, I'm telling all kind of stuff I ain't had no business saying.
Girl, I mean, boy, you was doing a good Mike Epps too. You was trying to be better. Like, boy, I ain't doing that with you. You got me telling too much.
Oh, Day came in and got to testifying. So yeah,
man. And he got some stories. I'm from there, so I know he got some stories. And Miss Pat, I didn't even know her story. Oh. I'm telling you, a lot of comedians here with the Week with Pat, we just thought she was just mean. I was like, because you can't win with Miss Pat because she always got the microphone last. So people in the audience, you try to heckle, you ain't gonna win. If she hosting the show, you ain't gonna win. And if she headlining, you ain't gonna win. She got the mic last. But I'm very, very happy for her. And it's a good form. I tell her that when I see her, like, you had a good formula. You always got the last word.
Right. I would love to sit down and have a conversation with Pat because her testimony, her story, her rise as a phoenix into this comedy game, man. You know, a lot of sometimes people could look at Pat and be like, man, she just came out of nowhere, but she been doing her due for years, man, and it's paying off.
I did several shows, Miss Pat. I seen her. That's why I was so happy when it happened for her.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I wish every time I text her, she goes like, who is this? I'm like, really, Pat? I tell
you, can you lock me in, please?
When you lock me in, I keep telling you, I screenshot. I got tickets to your show. I'm supporting you. What you know? And she's like, who is this?
Say how you humble me. You humbled me so quick, right when I thought we was friends, man.
Yeah. I like what she said. Recently, I see something she put out there. She said that people be talking like, I remember you was on Section 8 and you got evicted. She said, people that always want to bring up when you was down ain't your friend. Because, you know, they want to keep you in that place.
In that box.
And that was a good word she said. I was like, yeah, because I got to really like it. I remember you. Why you remembering that? You ain't remember nothing good.
Right.
I was really like that. I love listening to comedians and the stuff that they say because it really hit home with me.
Yeah, man. And you know, a lot of time people like that, they do that because when they see your evolution, they realize that it's time for them to change or they miss their time to change. So if they can keep you where you were, then they feel better about where they at. But man, we keep on soaring, brother. We keep on doing it. What is your favorite? What has been your favorite city to date to just that seems like you just fit right there?
Oh man, that's a good one. Home here in Marion, Indiana, I had some great shows. St. Louis, here West Virginia. I just did West Virginia, and it was really great. Philly. I mean, all of them, man, they just made me just feel great after the show. I'm like, did somebody record that to anybody? I don't care if you had your phone out. Give me that footage. That was great.
Right. I think, of course, it's an easy shot to say Atlanta, but really Houston, baby. Yeah, already. Houston.
Houston. Houston's on tap right now for me, and Atlanta. Working on doing a tour with Brother Man from the Fifth Flow. And those were some places we had Phoenix, Houston, and Atlanta, and maybe Philly. And a lot of people don't know Brother Man do comedy, but he's a very funny brother. I met him at Def Jam. That's where we met.
Hey, Reggie is hilarious.
And we've been cool ever since. Man, have you ever met? He's one of the coolest people you can meet.
That's who I'm trying to get on here. I'm trying to get him on here after you next, man. He is hilarious, and just how he takes his time and just he's him. It's like people like John Witherspoon. You can see them just make a facial expression, and it's funny. And then you can picture that just being them. It's not an act. It's just them.
He told me, he was only like on 5 episodes of Martin. I'm like, ain't no way. He said, I was only on like 5 episodes of Martin, but I was on 20-some episodes of Bernie Mac. I'm like,
wow.
Man, if you was 5 episodes, you killed them 5.
Man, didn't
I don't know how many episodes was on, but I think that he said 5. I'm going to have to ask him again. But, man, you became a household name off of 5 episodes. But he killed that character and still eating off of it.
What's up, man? Just a sandwich. Yeah, man. I love comedy, man. I love comedians. I love the stories. I love the fortitude that comes behind it. And this is to be in this fraternity called comedians, man. It's hard. I mean, it's like people think because you get a couple of jokes in the classroom or you make some family members laugh, but boy, you get up on this stage.
It's different when you're on stage.
Boy.
It is different. And the same thing with these social media comedians. You editing and doing all this, and it's all fine and doing all that. But when you stand in front of a crowd with no equipment, you better have some material. You have to do it. Ain't no editing, ain't no clapping,
ain't no do-over.
It's just you and the people, and the people gonna let you know how they feel immediately.
Right, immediately. And shout out.
I mean, it's funny. I like the people that do the subtle boo. You say something, and they don't go boo. They won't do that boo. And you can hear you don't think boo.
Right. Or hey, Sweaty, I tell you the one that really get me when the conversation get purposely louder. Like he ain't talking about nothing. Yeah. So what the wings taste like? The mozzarella sticks hot.
Next.
I'm like, boy,
they gonna pay their money. They not playing at all.
Right.
You gotta get them.
Our people rough, bro.
Yeah, and I be
at least
telling
the
the white
white
comedians,
class.
if you can do a black room, you can do a white room, because you can do black comedy, and I got a couple of white friends that can do it. Y'all are masters at this craft, because y'all can do our room. It is hard to please us, and we black.
Man.
So you're white behind up and trying to do it.
White people will give you a couple of courtesy giggles.
Smiles.
Hey, but us, we be like this.
Mm-mm. Is that all you got?
Right.
We came here for this.
Or that one, you got that brother just holding his glass right here. He just got the straw up to his lip, but he like.
Yeah. But when you make them laugh, they love you.
Yes, they do.
They can't get enough of you.
Well, man, let me do this. I'm gonna get your take on Joke Thieves. I'm gonna get your take on the Chris Rock situation, and then I'm gonna give you a chance to tell us what you got coming up. We're gonna take another music break real quick. Yours truly, Mr. Sadwar Farris, special guest on the night, comedian Robert Sweaty Hands Day. You've seen him Def Jam, you've seen him Comic View, and now you're seeing him on stages all around the country on tour right now. He's going to give us more information on how you can catch him in your city coming up real soon. But back to more of the hottest music this side of heaven. We are DL's Backstage Pass Conversation. And welcome back, comedian Robert Sweaty Hands Day. And yeah, man, if you listening to us on the radio, thank you. Hope you enjoyed that music. If you watching us on this YouTube and Roku, then you saw how the game is played and you ain't missed nothing. You get a chance to see everything that's going on. All right, so let's get at it. We done hit it a couple of times about how important it is to have studied your craft, to put time in this game called comedy. How important is it to have your own material, and what do you think about those that steal?
Very important to have your own material and write your own material. Stealing, yeah, I'm gonna say it's a part of the business. People do it. It's different types of stealing. Stealing a joke that made it went along with your set. I see people do it all, and I think comedians say the same joke. Taking somebody's whole set, word for word, verbatim. That's the problem.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I ain't gonna say the city because I'm sure they might remember, but I remember something went down in the green room, and an individual was called, and it just so happened to be in his city. He was called by some family members, and he's like, "Man, bro, you're doing your whole set," and it took off. And I remember the owner of the comedy club, at that time I was going by the name of Dallas J, and how I got stuck with that name doing open mics, and people was telling me, man, you ought to do it. So I said, if I do it and I bomb, then people just know that name Dallas J. I never anticipated not bombing. So I had to stick with that for a while. But the guy was like, hey, Dallas, you might want to go over to the bar. Just tell him I sent you over there. So yeah, it was some furniture moving.
I was never worried about. I had a lot of comedians do that. They was kind of same way with the R&B singers. Whether they song don't go, they would change things. I never worried about that part of it. The only time I have sold some jokes myself in the time is when I was crossing over to clean comedy. I didn't have no material for church people, and I told the joke had to build me a set till I got to write my own, and then you know there it was. I got a joke for my brother Darian Perkins. I hope he ain't mad at me, but I give him credit for it. But I wasn't ready for it. But people kept asking me for it, and I said, all right. So then after I got comfortable, that's all I could do. I could do this for these people, and then I wrote, and it been great. But yeah, I won't say I took a joke myself too. But it takes somebody's whole set from the beginning to end. I done seen people. I'm like, come on. And you know, comics, we know. And even people that go crate digging, I've seen people, I told you Robin Harris, my guy, I seen a girl, we was in Louisiana, do a whole Robin Harrison set. And I've been doing it all the time, like, that's Robin Harrison.
Right. So it's hard to laugh. It's hard to laugh at that.
And I wouldn't have mind, because it's a classic joke. I don't want it to die. The new generation ain't heard it. So I get it, telling old people joke. Michael Collier do it, tell old people joke alert. I get it. But when you're trying to pass it off as yours,
yeah. And like you said, at least Michael Collier gives you the alert, hey man, credit by, but yeah.
Well, they got the guy that's doing it now. He's like the unmasked magician that would show the trick. They got the guy, the big dude 3. Now I ain't mad at him at all because I'll be laughing. I done heard him tell several jokes that I done told myself, but he's telling all these jokes and he building this platform off of old jokes and jokes that people ain't heard, and it's working for him. And I hope it keep on working for him. I like it every time.
Just give me my credit.
So, comedian, he need to get the material, but I don't know.
That's right. Now, if you're a content creator, I can understand. And just give me my credit. So when I get out here on stage, they ain't looking at me like I done took your stuff. And that was really my stuff.
Exactly. That part right there.
All right. So we'll get to it. I know it's been about a little over a year. Chris Rock got a chance to have his say in court, so to say. He came out with selective outrage. First of all, what did you think about the situation of the slap, and what did you think about Chris Rock's comedy special?
When I saw the slap, I didn't like it. I was insulted. I'm like, come on, Will, what are you doing?
Right.
And then the contrary, when he came out and he did his special, he addressed it. He made it funny, and everything that Will got, Will had it coming.
That's it.
I mean, you don't go up on stage and slap people. They're like hecklers. If you want to heckle somebody, be prepared because all these comedians ain't no pushover. You might get something like that because you get the raw. I mean, you heckle Corey Holcomb, you mess around, commit suicide. Because Corey one of the people that bite his teeth until he ain't getting out. Okay, let's go. I quit.
Right. No, homeboy.
I ain't quit. No, I mean, you started it. I'm going to end it. And when I say stop.
Right. Yeah, some people you just need to let alone and let them do their job, man. So, yeah. Have you ever had a situation that you felt or thought that it could cross that kind of line?
I had one that I was a little nervous about. Dude was drunk, and he started it. I don't get into it with the crowd unless you invite yourself into it. I got jokes that I wrote, and I want to tell. You get in there, want to put your 2 cents in, and it don't say sweaty hands and the drunk dude in the third row. It don't say that on the marquee. It say sweaty hands. So now here we go. So now I get the roast of you. And then the club owner come and have you put out. I'm like, I'm going to see you outside. I'm going to meet you outside. I said, I'm going to see you outside. And I'm going to step right on over you and go on to my car because you got the show. You can be outside drunk, passed out, sleeping. And I had women wanting to fight. They were like, swear, don't go out there to be good. And I'm like, oh, I'm not worried about that food. They're like, nah, people crazy nowadays.
Yeah.
They went out there like they was going to take care of them. I'm like, I ain't worried. If that's what is going to happen, that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, man, it's a different time.
You ever had one of them situations?
Man, I actually I had a situation sort of like that. I was on a show, not with myself, because I'm like you. I do a set. I had a young lady that was sitting front row, and the way it was set up, I felt as though when we first got there, the tables was too close to the stage anyway. And she came in gaslit from the start anyway, and she, look at you, chocolate, and hey, I appreciate that, and I'm trying to do my
want to be in the show. They want to be the star.
Oh man! And by the time I turned loose, and because she was like, "We can go when you get off stage in the back dark part of the," and I'm like, "Lady, come on," and I'm slapping her with one of them backhanded kind of compliments, and folks starting to laugh. Oh, you trying to make a fool out of me? I go get my husband. And that gave me about 15 minutes because I was like, your husband? He know you coming here acting like look at the chocolate and all. Oh, so yeah, it went real bad after that.
It's been more women than it has been men though.
Yeah.
Dudes
it's
ain't
almost
really, on that, but women, I guess they feel like if they women, they can say whatever they want to and you supposed to take it. I'm gonna give it back to you.
Right. They want to be seen, want them eyelashes to be seen, gotta show that outfit. Baby, it's a better way. Trust me.
I got into it with a chick in Detroit, and it's something I never knew at the time, that you can joan or talk about somebody that was too hard. I'm like, huh? That was too hard. And people started feeling sorry for him. I'm like, she started it though.
I don't think, Sweaty, what they realize is we're wordsmiths. So we can put them together, man, in a way that you just, oh man. So
I'm put something together gonna hurt your feelings. I was in Detroit and I purposely wore an outfit a certain way. That's back in used and damaged days. And I had on used and I had on damaged. And the girls were like, you ain't supposed to be wearing a used pants with a damaged jacket. I said, don't be mad at me because I can afford both of them.
Right.
And so then we going on, and she kept saying, I can't even tell you what I said because it's not religious.
That was long time ago.
Yeah, it was the LBGTQ LMNOP joke, and I hit it with about several of them, and they was like, ooh, the crowd was like, ooh.
And hey, you know what probably really got her? Her girlfriend that she came with probably was like, ooh.
Shut up before he get on me. You brought her.
Right.
The crowd was on her so hard. The crowd was like, they turned on me. Now I go to Detroit. I be like one of them Amish horses with the blinders on. Nobody. Cause I want my money. I don't want no issues.
Right. Man, folk are so sensitive. And the thing was, before I got into comedy, we understood you go into a show, you got there on time. If you sitting up front, when a comic is on stage, if you got to go to the restroom, you either tried to hold it till he was done, or you kind of got in the shadows and tried to move real quick so he couldn't have nothing. And you didn't wear nothing very identifying.
Don't draw attention to yourself.
Man, I did a show at the Improv with Leonard Ootsie and with Leonard Oates, and I'm sorry, and this lady came in, Sweat. She had red shirt, red slacks, red stockings, red shoes, red lipstick with red highlights, and sat right next to the green room door. So we on the wall. You know how the Improvs are set. We on the wall like this, and I'm seeing it, but I'm like, I'm an opener. I ain't fixing to step on the feature. And because I could tell the way Leonard was looking. Oh my God. Oh man.
I'm sitting here now. I'm thinking about a Little Red Riding Hood.
Oh man. And look, Kool-Aid Man went in my mind. But man, when I tell you he dressed her up and zipped her down, and she was giggling until her date started laughing. Oh man, he ain't that funny. You ain't got material. Go ahead, use me. Come on.
How Will feel. Will was laughing until Jada looked at him.
Right. She put that side out.
That's what made the whole thing a big old mess. Will, you laughed too. It was funny.
He laughed hard.
Compliment.
Hey, he gave one of them black folk laugh. He was like, and next thing you know, he felt that. He's like, oh yes, ma'am, I convey. And next thing I know, he done open hand. And you know, that's
somebody change mid personality. Like, oh no. That was a great situation.
And then you could tell he was uncomfortable with the act he just did. It was like he was possessed because he slapped him, then he turned around and he kind of looked over his shoulder like, you know, I'm supposed to have somebody jumping me. And then he kind of did that.
Somebody supposed to grab you and hold you back, or he's supposed to get, was that okay? And she was like,
there you go.
Yeah.
Well, I put it like this.
Was done.
He slapped the right rock, brother, because if that had been Tony, that'd have been a whole nother affair, man.
Yeah.
Whole nother affair.
I'm glad he didn't smack no whams, because that's a whole lot of brothers. It's a whole lot of brothers in this.
Whole lot of. Well, you know it's 10 of them rocks.
Yes. I found it out after the slap. I did not know.
Yeah. Chris just told him to just
Pete
chill.
Rock, Sheet Rock,
Crack Rock.
Yes, there you go. Him.
They say Crack Rock the toughest one of all them rocks too.
Yeah, he a hard one.
Man, I appreciate you being gracious with your time, Sweaty. Man, it got good on us.
Hey,
So
you ain't lying, man. This is fun. This is one of the funnest interviews, most relaxed. We wasn't doing no scripted. You wouldn't have. All right, I'm gonna ask him about. We just kicking it like we do in the green room.
Yeah,
this is really good. These are type for people out there learning how to interview and how to podcast and all that stuff. Don't script it. Get the real. Invite people in, ask them what you want to ask them, and just let it flow. But don't be scripted with, I got these 10 questions. I'm going to ask them, so what kind of dog would you have if you had a dog? What a dog? I don't even like dogs. What you talking about? They be having some questions. They be hitting me sometimes. I'll be sitting there with that doom, 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 doom.
Looking for that light.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, how do I answer this question? Because sometimes they try to trap you into some stuff, get you in some arguments and beefs.
Yeah.
Like, what you know about this? What you think about it? That ain't none of my business.
Right. And what you don't care enough to ask me. That's it.
Yeah,
that's
this
it,
comedian
brother.
right here.
Well, I tell you this, Sweaty. Anytime you got something about to drop off, man, anytime you want to come back in, man, just let me know. You know how to get in contact with me. And we'll make it happen. Yeah.
I definitely, Kansas, I'm coming. I'm about to put y'all on my radar. We can make that happen. We can come over there and we can tear it up.
Yeah, let's put something together, man. Yeah, let's put something together.
Let's definitely, man. Let's get together and make it happen.
Definitely, man. Ladies and gentlemen, the hilarious man himself, Sweaty Hands, Mr. Robert Day. Rob, before you get out of here, bro.
Marshall, good host, y'all. Give it up for him, man.
I appreciate that. Before I get you up out of here, man, if you had 4 comedians, dead or alive, that you could just sit back on a Sunday afternoon in the backyard grilling with, who would they be?
Ooh. Dang. Robin Harris.
You only get 4. You only get 4.
Robin Harris.
Robin.
I gotta, just because I'm a fan. I gotta go Richard because he just so.
Richard.
All right, now I gotta get some people that's live. Dave Chappelle.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
One more. So many. I'm gonna go Eddie.
Eddie, yep. Yeah, man. That's solid. That's solid. I would have said the first 2 that I said, Bernie, Eddie, and then I probably would have said Dave Chappelle, D.L. Hughley.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Just to sit up and pick their brains on the long.
You be forget. I can't even picture Bernie dead. Bernie never even crossed my mind because I don't feel like Bernie's dead. I don't know why.
Right.
I don't feel that way.
Man.
I feel like Robin Harris is dead. Maybe enough time. I feel like Richard's dead. I don't feel like Bernie's dead, but he is, but I don't feel it.
Probably because we still see him so much in syndication and so much. Well, I tell you what ain't dead, and that's your career, brother. Keep popping off. Hilarious. If you guys missed the clip, when this go off, turn it back on, see his clip. That's just a snippet of what it is this brother has, man. Where can they find you on Instagram? I know you got a website. Tell them all that, how they can follow you. I'm going, as soon as we get off here, I'm going to follow you.
At sweatyhandscomedy.com. My Instagram is sweatyhands1 on Instagram.com. Facebook, Sweaty Hands 1 on Facebook, Twitter, everything is Sweaty Hands 1, whatever it is, on all social media platforms. Hit me up. Let's make it happen. Let's have some fun. We gotta get back on here so we can give you the church side too, because I got a lot of them stories. Because like you were saying about the pastors, at first they treating it like rap.
Right.
Yeah, man. I had pastors like, you do the other comedy? I said, don't you preach to everybody? Or you just preach to Christians? Right. Now, I talk to everybody now.
Yeah,
but,
why you in my bank account, bro? Why you in my bank account, man? Yeah. I'm out here witnessing to everybody.
There you go.
Yeah, man. Hey, just let me know when you want to come back. We'll put you on the calendar and we'll make that happen, bro. We got Bodacious about to come on after you. So man, yeah, definitely.
And I'm about to say what's up and good luck. And man, I wish y'all the best, man. I appreciate
it, Sweaty. After I get off here, man, I'm gonna hit you up.
Definitely do that.
I'm gonna follow you.
Cool.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up one more time. None other than comedian Mr. Robert Sweaty Hands Day, man. Thank you, man. Great interview, brother. Great interview. Yes, sir, man. Y'all understand the assignment. That is, you stood here and you had a great time. I'm going to do this. I'm going to tell you guys to make sure if you are in the Kansas City, Missouri area, that you have yourself in the place right here on May the 28th. It's the Gentlemen of Comedy, Bam Brown, D.L. Marshall. We're going to be at the Sunlight Missionary Baptist Church. It's the on-demand comedy show, special musical guest, Billy Bird Sr. And thank you to host pastor Ricky Rambo, his beautiful first lady, Miss Keyshawn Rambo. I know Keyshawn be like, first lady, I'm the only lady. So yeah, his lady. And we'll leave it just like that. Hey, man, go ahead and call them for more ticket information. It's free parking, and they got plenty of it. So all y'all, come on out to 4444 Woodland Avenue, Kansas City, Missouri. Bam Brown, D.L. Marshall, Gentlemen of Comedy on Demand. And that is coming out. And make sure that you definitely support the award-winning, the most infamous radio show, the D.L. Marshall's Backstage Pass Conversation with my own air ride or die, Bam Brown. I hope y'all voted for Bam on the Kansas City People's Choice Awards. All right. And you can catch us on YouTube, the I-70 channel I-70 MMBE. All right. So we're going to get up out of here. Remember, the gospel of Jesus Christ is contagious. Catch it. All that you do, do it godly. And if it be God's will, until next time, we'll catch you backstage or in the arena. Peace.
You're watching DL's Backstage Pass with Savoir Faire. He's such the vibe.
Y'all heard what she said. He's such the